Welcome friends to my channel SensexKaFunda. Today we are going to discuss the rumors in the market that President Trump may ban US IT companies from offshoring their work to Indian IT companies. We all saw today how TCS and Infosys reacted. Infosys was 1.16% down and TCS was down by 1.54%. In fact, if you see over the last 1 year, this is now at their lowest point. Both TCS and Infosys are at the lowest point in the last 1 year. This happened due to a tweet on X by this Twitter channel Redbox Global India, which around 11 a.m. tweeted that US set to explore tariffs on Indian IT, and it said that Reuters has posted this news. We saw a fall in Indian IT companies, specifically Infosys and TCS, as soon as this tweet happened around 10 o'clock in the morning. Both Infosys and TCS were down uh, once this tweet was tweeted at 10 o'clock. And then after some time, this particular Twitter channel said that US said to explore tariffs on Indian IT, and the source is India Today, not Reuters. And then it posted the full article from India Today. Once US opened, we also saw the friends and those associates who are close to the current US administration and to US President Donald Trump tweeting the same. So, Laura Loomer, who is a well-known journalist in the United States, tweeted, President Trump is now considering blocking US IT companies from outsourcing their work to Indian companies. Make call centers America again. So we do not really know whether these are just rumors or whether this will be enacted in the near future. And I would encourage all of you to read about Project 2025 because this is the policy on which Donald Trump's administration is going ahead and to make America great again. And I would specifically discuss the Project 2025's proposals for H-1B visas and for taxing of foreign remittances. So what Project 2025 proposes for H-1B visas? And we believe that this is going to be implemented in the next couple of months because President Trump, so far, whatever he has implemented is from Project 2025. One, lowering the annual cap. The current cap of 85,000 H-1B visas per year would be reduced, limiting access to skilled foreign workers. Second, raising salary thresholds. And I have seen multiple US administration officials in the last few weeks coming on television and discussing this specific proposal, which is under consideration. So I believe it's just a matter of time before this is implemented. Employers would be required to offer significantly higher wages to H-1B workers, aiming to ensure only the best and the brightest are admitted. It would also increase oversight of employers to prevent pursued abuse of the system and protect American jobs. It would move to a completely merit-based system from the current lottery-based system, and this is a huge negative for Infosys because Infosys gets 20% of the H-1B quota through lottery. Preference will be given to candidates with advanced degrees, extensive experience, and high salary offers, shifting away from the current lottery system. And that would be elimination of interview waivers, which has already started. The State Department has already ended the Dropbox interview waiver for most non-immigrant visas, including H-1B holders, effective September 2nd, leading to longer wait times and processing delay. What I also believe is that given the current US administration having Twitter fight every day with the Indian administration over purchasing of Russian oil and the current penalties on India of 50% tariffs. And I would like you to listen to this particular video of the US Trump administration official.
Eventually, your businesses are going to say, you've got to stop this and go make your deal with America. So I think, yes, in a month or 2 months, I think India is going to be at the table and they're going to say they're sorry and they're going to try to make a deal with Donald Trump. And it will be on Donald Trump's desk how he wants to deal with Modi. And we leave that to him. That's why he's the president.
And we've also seen this tweet from President Trump, which says that looks like we lost India and Russia to deepest, darkest China. May they have a long and prosperous future together. President Donald J. Trump. And what Trump is now really doing is hardening of stance. He's doing the art of the deal, which he's good at. Is basically forcing India to come to the negotiating table. So we believe that in the next few weeks and months, we will see hardening of stance from both sides, both India and the United States. And and so we believe that even the remittance tax under Project 2025 could come through, wherein the proposals in Project 2025 discuss that any non-citizen in US tries to remit money to their home country, whether it's India, Philippines, Brazil, or Southeast Asia, it should be taxed. So this would force the non-citizen to spend money in the United States or keep their funds in the United States and boost US growth. So in the Project 2025, it talks about 1% excise tax on remittances by non-citizens, on certain cross-border remittances made by non-citizens residing in the US. The money would be collected by remittance providers and remitted to the IRS. So cause the rupee to come under further pressure, and also this would have an impact on the Sensex, given that the current US administration is now going to be openly hostile to both outsourcing, to taxing remittances, and also to India cozying up to Russia and China. We do not know if President Trump would go ahead with blocking US IT companies from outsourcing to Indian firms. But the current tone and of the US administration suggests that it's going to ramp up sanctions and also the consequences for India. Of course, there will be a revenue shock given that Indian exports to the US totaled $100 billion in 23-24, nearly half of India's total IT export economy. So basically, half of India's total IT export economy is dependent on the United States. And we know that from the numbers how TCS, Infosys get 50% or more than 50 to 70% of their revenues from the United States. So a ban would hit giants like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL, and Cognizant, which relies heavily on US clients. We would also see a job market disruption in India. Millions of Indian engineers and graduates enter the workforce annually could face reduced opportunities. And not only that, even those Indian students who graduate from the United States and then depend on H-1B visa would be impacted because the H-1B visa would become merit based and on a higher salary threshold. So also, the on-site roles in the US key for client engagement would shrink due to tighter H-1B visa rules. This could also result in existing US clients cancel or renegotiating contracts. I mean, if the US companies get the upper hand, they would try to renegotiate lower billable rates with Indian IT companies. This would also impact Indian IT companies adversely. Also, Indian firms may pivot towards Europe. Yeah, so this would happen in the near term as Indian IT companies diversify geographically from United States, on whom they are currently based to a large extent, to Europe and Southeast Asia to offset losses. Nearshoring and local hiring in the US could increase, and that's what we saw in the first US administration of Donald Trump when he came with threatening offshoring. We saw how Infosys and TCS ramped up hiring in the United States of citizens or green card holders to increase the cost. India has the biggest talent pool of software engineers, and if you push them away from India, this would increase costs uh, and definitely would force them to hire domestically at higher rates, squeezing their profit margins. The US faces a persistent shortage of skilled tech workers, especially in AI, cybersecurity, and software engineering. Yeah, so this would increase the wages if you recruit domestically, and losing access to Indian talent could slow innovation. And to offset labor shortage, US firms may accelerate investment in AI and automation, though this transition may take time. So, net, what I see is that this is going to significantly and negatively affect Indian IT companies. We cannot forecast what will be the low at which IT companies would hit their bottoms. Uh, what I would encourage you all would be to go through this video, Indian obituary of the Indian IT industry, not yet down but not out. This I made a few weeks back, and I draw heavily from Buffett, who says that the best time to invest in any company is when they are on the operating table. Now the investor needs to ask is, has Indian IT sector also now come into the same category? If The best thing that happens to us is when a great company gets into temporary trouble. We want to buy them when they are on the operating table. And over the long term, over the next 5 years, 10 years, I would believe IT would increase wealth. Of course, there would be phases like the current turmoil that we are seeing from United States when these would be bargain buys. Now, we are insignificant people. We cannot forecast whether TCS would come from 4,500 to 3,000, which it is currently. And if you look at it, it's come down from 4,400 to 3,000. And we don't know if it would further fall to 2,000 or 2,500. But at every fall, it becomes a very attractive bargain option. Now, I would like to also highlight the disclaimer that this video is intended for solely for education and learning purposes. If you are buying stocks, you should really consult your qualified financial advisor, do your own research because it's finally your money, your profits, your losses, rather than rely on me. We still do not know the clear picture if H-1B visa curbs would come. We do not know what will be Donald Trump's policy on outsourcing or offshoring. But yeah, there are interesting times ahead. There will be interesting times for Indian IT companies who have seen a lot over the last 20 years, 25 years. And I believe that India will emerge stronger from this crisis. I finally leave you with the tweet of Donald Trump. Looks like we have lost India and Russia to deepest, darkest China. May they have a long and prosperous future together. President Donald J. Trump. Now, whether this is the art of the deal of forcing negotiations on India to come to the negotiating table, or whether this is an actual threat that will be carried out by Donald Trump, only time will tell. Please follow this channel to be updated on the impact and on the news. Thank you.